hola, everybody. ¿Cómo están? Espero se encuentren bien. Yo me llamo Jessie Feliz y yo soy la host. Yo soy la presentadora de Spanish Swag. ¡Poof! ¡Falling!
Yeah!
Ok. Hoy, mis amigos, tenemos una invitada muy especial. Ella es luchadora, ¿ok? Para el contenido para la materia de español. Ella es profe de español. Ella habla español en una manera, like, it just sounds so good. I mean, she's like swagalicious. I gotta send mi amiga a free tea. We have none other. I mean, and she's been around the world and yeah. Vea, ella ha vivido en California. Ahora ella is gonna represent that BMO. She's representing that Baltimore. That's the connection que nosotras tenemos. Pero ella nació en Ohio, ha vivido, creció en California, ha vivido en West Virginia. I mean, we're going to learn so much about this queen. I'm so happy to have her. None other than la señora, o la Profe Hermosa. Let me clarify that first of all. You already know. Ese es su nombre usuario en Instagram, en Twitter, en por todos lados de las redes sociales. La Profe Hermosa. None other than señorita Regina O'Neal. Give it up, give it up.
Hola, ¿cómo estamos?
Bien, mi amorcita. ¿Cómo estás tú?
Más o menos, no me quejo.
Sí. Sí, esa es la cosita, porque uno se siente de una manera, pero es otra cosa de siempre quejarse y hablar y emitir más vibras negativas. Hay demasiada oscuridad en el mundo, ¿no? Entonces, Dios es fiel, está bien. No hay mal que por bien no venga, está bien. Ok, mi amorcita, entonces, Regina, cuéntanos, tell us about tu historia. ¿Cómo llegaste a ser profe de español? ¿Cómo llegaste a ser bilingüe? Cuéntanos tu historia, mi amor.
Ok. Well, al principio yo nací en Steubenville, Ohio. Big up, Steubenville.
Yeah!
Pero crecí en California, específicamente en el sur del condado de Los Ángeles. Mi ciudad se llama Linwood, bien cerquita a Compton y Long Beach, y etc.
Yay.
Exacto. Crecí allí donde casi todo el mundo era mexicano, mi barrio mexicano, la mayoría de mis amigos, mitad de todos mis maestros, casi todas de mis niñeras eran mexicanas y por eso desarrollé este sonido.
Ya fue acostumbrada al sonido de español.
Claro. ¿Qué más? He estudiado formalmente en el colegio, igualito que mis alumnos. Entonces tenemos esa conexión, ¿vale?
Sí.
Después decidí estudiar en la Universidad de West Virginia. Conseguí mi bachillerato y pues yo en aquel entonces casada con un niño, embarazada con el segundo, entonces tuve que buscar trabajo, ¿no?
Sí, hay que trabajar, sí.
Sí, con ese título de español, entonces me encontré un puesto en Montebello Elementary Junior Academy en el año 2000 en Baltimore City.
Ok.
Y pues...
¿Y por cuánto tiempo trabajaste ahí?
Por 7 años. Y después de estos años, entonces decidí empezar mi carrera en the Baltimore Polytechnic Institute.
Yes, Polytech. We know about that in BR. I mean, vean, yo trabajé en Baltimore por 6 años en Southwest Academy. Y después de vivir allí por 6 años durante todo ese tiempo, like, everyone knew about Polytech. Like, that was just like... Para mí, okay, por ejemplo, aquí en Detroit, it's like everyone, los colegios más conocidos son Renaissance and Cass Tech, right? Pero Polytech, that was like, oh my gosh, you got into Polytech, you know?
Yeah.
That was like the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my husband is the varsity head coach there, and he's an alumnus from Poly, so it's been a huge deal. It's been a huge deal.
¿Y a dónde se conocieron ustedes? ¿En West Virginia?
En la Universidad de West Virginia.
Ok, qué bueno.
Y él me contaba de su ciudad preciosa de Baltimore. Y mírame ahorita.
Ok, una pregunta para ti. ¿Cómo se pronuncia perro en inglés?
Yo, dog.
Pero allí, ¿cuál es el dialecto? Puro Baltimore.
Pero mis vecinos, Doug.
Doug.
Claro, Doug.
A hot dog. Let me get a hot dog with some salt, pepper, and ketchup. Hot dog.
Muy chistoso, pero a la vez precioso.
Sí, a mí me encanta porque es parte de la cultura, ¿sí? Y los
Exacto. Y hay
dialectos,
que
eso es una
respetarla, ¿no?
riqueza. A mí me
Claro.
encanta. Y yo recuerdo un cuentito. En mi primer año como profe de español, y yo, Safos Academy es una escuela intermedia en Baltimore. Y después de calificar los examencitos de mis estudiantes, una de mis clases, ellos sacaron notas súper muy buenas. Entonces, íbamos a tener una fiesta. Entonces, les pregunté, ok, ¿qué quiere para tomar? Pero, what pop do y'all want? Y ellos estaban así, pop, como popcorn. I said, tú no puedes tomar palomitas. I said, what type of pop? Porque soy de Detroit, Michigan, vea, de Midwest, we say pop, no digamos
Exactamente. También
soda.
in the Ohio Valley.
Yes, all
What
of
kind of
that, you
pop you
know.
want?
Right.
Go ahead and get me a Sprite.
Yeah, it's how you know, like that's what culture is. Like I love how Zaretta Hammond, la autora de Culture Responsive Teaching the Brain, ella dice que culture is your brain software. You know, and so like, y no podemos generalizar que todas las culturas son, que cada persona parte de una cultura, like we're all like robots. No. Pero
Right.
por lo general, like the way we perceive, and even regionally, es parte de su cultura. Like for us, there's like nostalgia, you know, being people from the Midwest hearing pop, you know,
Oh,
like
yes.
it
I love
resonates with
it.
us, right? Pero otra cosa, después de vivir allí, ahora estoy bien acostumbrada a decir soda, pero
Yeah.
depende. Y también la I, como hay en inglés, director versus
Sí, claro.
directions.
Claro.
Y hay mucha gente también que vive en Baltimore, que viene de Connecticut, de Nueva York, de Jersey. Entonces es muy fuerte el dialecto. The school director. Entonces, you
Coming
know.
from West Virginia, I still say Wendy's and Mondays.
¿En serio?
Mhm.
Wow. Ok, y vea, y la otra cosa que es muy interesante, y cuéntame si te parece igual. En Baltimore hay dialectos diferentes.
Claro.
Ok, hay gente que se pronuncia perro como Doug, y cuando pide papas fritas, hot dog with some French fries with hot pepper, salt, pepper, and ketchup. Pero hay gente del lado este, como Dundalk y Rose, ¿cómo se llama? ¿Es Rosedale o Roseville?
Rosedale.
Rosedale, ok, yo recuerdo. Y ellos se pronuncia como, es igual para los negritos, pero también es más fuerte para ellos, like water, Washington, D.C., en vez de
Balmer. En vez de Baltimore, Balmer.
Baltimore, sí.
Yeah.
Pero eso es muy rico. A mí me encantan los dialectos porque es parte de su identidad, right?
Claro.
Y even la manera de pronunciar el nombre de la ciudad, no es Baltimore, aunque contiene la T, suena como una D, Baltimore, like, you know.
Baltimore.
And so that's one of the beautiful things I love about languages. It's so much more than just this textbook, you know, manera de comunicarse. So, cuéntanos, ¿cuáles son los niveles que enseñas y ahora que tú estás en el colegio? ¿Y por cuánto tiempo has enseñado en
En
Polytech?
Poly por 15 años. Llevo
Excelente.
15 años, ajá.
Yeah.
Doy clases de nivel 1, este año no. Tengo una sección de nivel 2, dos secciones de nivel 3, por lo cual es mi pre-AP, y tengo una sección de AP, español, lengua y culturas.
Qué bueno. Entonces,
Y sirvo de jefita del
hay
departamento.
mucha para preparar, ¿no? Porque tienen 3 secciones diferentes o hay que preparar para Spanish 2, 3 y pre-AP y AP.
Exacto. Y también sirvo de jefita del departamento, entonces me tocó pues apoyar a todos los demás maestros del departamento. No hay mucho tiempo libre para planificar.
No, no hay.
Yeah.
Pero cuéntame también, porque recuerdo la última vez de conversarnos, tú me dijiste que el año pasado que tú estabas haciendo algo sobre el State of the Union para la comunidad hispana o para el lenguaje de español. Cuéntanos sobre eso, que fue muy interesante.
Yeah. Esto pasó hace unos años, definitivamente antes de la pandemia. Entonces yo sirvo de asesora a 2 clubes en mi escuela. El primero es los ingenieros. ¿Por qué? Los ingenieros es el nombre de la mascota de nuestro colegio, ¿no? Sirve como el club de la cultura hispana. Y yo ofrecí esta sugerencia a los alumnos. ¿Por qué no tengamos algo como the State of the Hispanic Union? Algo que hacemos, pues, los afroamericanos, junto,
Sí.
ya viste, pues, estos programas de Tavis Smiley, ¿recuerda?
Sí, lo
Algo
recuerdo.
parecido. Entonces, sí, ojalá podamos hacer algo parecido este año, pero vamos a ver, porque,
Sí.
pues, es la primera semana de la escuela.
Sí, vamos a ver, wow. Y espero que ustedes puedan hacerlo y
Sí.
hay que grabar videos,
Sí,
fotos para subir en línea, para
sí,
compartir, especialmente porque hay chiquitos. Y también tú, en Pali, hay una población de hispanohablantes.
yeah.
Ok, y de ellos la mayoría son más de like heritage speakers o hablar de
Es
manera
una
más
mezcla,
nativa.
es
Una
una
mezcla.
mezcla.
Ok.
Ujú.
Sí, ok, buenísimo. Y como una mujer afroamericana,
Ujú.
¿cómo ha sido la experiencia de ser profe? ¿Ha tenido problemas o menos de problemas, más como em, circunstancias diferentes de la manera de la gente que te reciban como una mujer afroamericana enseñando español? Cuéntanos eso.
Ok, well, pues especialmente gracias a mis experiencias viviendo en West Virginia, donde
Ujú,
hay mucha gente que no tiene problema con sus prejuicios, digamos.
ujú,
Aquí en Baltimore se esconde un poquito más. ¿Me
ujú,
explico?
ujú.
Entonces, a veces recibo tratamiento feo siendo una maestra que está enseñando su segunda lengua. Esto es algo diferente, ¿no?
Sí.
Am, pero sí, como siempre hay batallas donde la gente, pues, o sea, es que sufrimos agresiones, microagresiones, ¿no?
Ajá, ajá.
Por ejemplo, am, yo he escrito mi currículo con un enfoque acerca de la cultura negra a lo largo de la diáspora. Entonces, a veces tengo unos papás que quieren quejarse de por qué tenemos que enfocarnos tanto en la gente negra que tiene que ver. Por la ignorancia es que no saben.
Ujú, ujú.
Entonces, yo invito a esos papás que se sientan en mi clase para que aprenda poquito, para que
Ujú.
sepan ellos what the relationship is between Black folks and this incredible language.
Una cosa muy interesante, and it's, you know, es una locura, pero no es una locura, because it's like, this is historical. It's nothing, no es, no, nada, ¿cómo se dice el dicho? No hay nada nuevo bajo el sol, right? You
Right.
know, it just said, hoy en día tenemos teléfonos, you know, everything's publicado en línea, so it's like,
Mhm.
you know, more accessible for people to see. Pero la cosa que es muy interesante para mí es que why is it such an issue of being inclusive of multiple perspectives who have equally shared a human experience?
Because people are very comfortable with maintaining their focus, their attention, and their power. And they
Mm,
don't want to share it with anyone else,
mm,
which is why one of the most powerful points in my lessons is the celebration of a beauty, of an intelligence, and of a contribution that is different from your own, that is different from your mother and your father. And getting
yes.
people comfortable with saying and admitting that.
Yeah, you know, like I think of like when Aristotle said, a truly educated mind. And I'm telling you, I keep promoting this book, The Culturally Responsive Teaching in the Brain,
Mhm.
because you know it's so con frecuencia. There's always like a trend, like
Mhm.
in the field of education. I remember cuando yo era profe en español in Baltimore, like the buzz was like what in los hace 10 años differentiated instruction, you know, and like now we're saying CI, pero we should already be doing these things to begin with. I know that's not happening, pero
No.
this concept of culture responsiveness is so much more than just talking about lo visible, like all the tangible things.
Right.
It's also including these perspectivas, right? Because la cultura es más sobre la conversación y las prácticas de lo que pasa en las casas, de la gente que habla el idioma o la cultura, más de la fiesta, y o comemos tamales para la Navidad or greens and cornbread como gente negra. It's so much more of the mindsets, the practices. And so if we can like interweave, it should not just be, oh, es el mes de la herencia negra or el mes de la herencia hispana. Like
I always
multiple perspectives should be interwoven, period, because that is America.
I couldn't agree more. I do my best to just, remind colleagues to be wary of the performative requests and demands, because if you can't tell somebody how this is affecting your student, how this changes perspectives, how you're making other people feel in your space, then it's clearly performative and it's a waste of time and actually insulting.
I just did I have an actual micrófono, but está ahí o no sé dónde está. I normally do a mic drop, pero yo no sé dónde está ubicado en este momento. Tengo otro micrófono, pero hay otro que...
You remember when Obama did it?
No, right. I got the actual mic drop. Boom. Pero I read a quote anoche when I was live, and it was from Jim Henson. El creador de Sesame Street. No, el de los Muppet Babies, right? Jim Henson did Muppet Babies up here. Muppets, yeah, Jim Henson's Muppet. And he said, we hear the phrase, here, aquí está. Kids don't remember what you try to teach them. They remember what you are. And that really, I thought I had to do a double check. Am I saying this correctamente? Because I'm thinking, no, it should be they remember who you are, but the what you are requires accountability. Because what are you doing? What are you bringing? What role are you playing in this child's life? If you're just performing para su administrador so that you could get whatever points for your evaluation, but diariamente, in real talk, some of us como profes, children, young adults, whether you teach chiquitos, de primaria hasta el colegio, some of us have more awake time with these children than they do con sus padres. And that's not to throw shade at los papás. I mean, hay que trabajar, no? Some people have hay horarios diferentes. And so my thing is, instead of the who, I'm this, I'm the instructional coach, I'm the teacher, we know su papel, but it's menos de el nombre de su título y más de what are you for this child. Less menos de who, but what are you? And if we are actually trying to facilitate intellectual growth so that they're not just dependent learners, but rather independent thinkers, y equiparlos para que ellos, como profe español, you already know, when I talk about swag, ese es el problema. ¿Cuántas personas conocemos? Tome. Vete para allá. ¿Cuántas personas? Right?
Acabo de botar la mía.
Déjame en paz, por favor. But how many people do we know? And it's just it's un estereotipo de los gringos, de nosotros. Oh, yeah, I took 2 years of Spanish. Or even if you have un chiquito por un año solamente, they go to otro profe para el nivel seguido. My thing is that's that what factor, not the who. What are you doing in that year that you have that child in su aula?
One of your previous guests said it so beautifully. It's reminding students that this is their birthright. You know what I mean?
Dr. Cammie J. Anderson.
Dr. Cammie, come on, Dr. Cammie. We have so much in common. It's not even funny. I can't wait to meet her.
Yes.
But yes, understanding that bilingualism, even being a polyglot, is your birthright. And my job is only to facilitate you on your journey for a lifelong, loving relationship with your new languages, if you choose.
Right? Yes. It's to activate it, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's already within us. And especially como profe que trabaja en una escuela que sirve a una población afroamericanita.
Right.
I mean, this goes, my thing, whether you're in the countryside you're in a rural school, you're in suburbia, you're in the city, you in the hood, you wherever, you should be culturally responsive, period. And that means including multiple perspectives, not just, oh, I'm a Black teacher, so I'm only going to talk about Black perspectives. Or I'm a white teacher and I'm going to do what has been conventional, only talk about white perspectives, right? No, we should be inclusive and bring different things, to the table and different perspectivas, because that's really is what are going to facilitate. Like we said, we want to be facilitators. We want to be activators, so that they can make those like almost organic, natural connections. And we know que la representación importa.
Right.
Tell me also, ya casi se me olvidó. Tú me dijiste sobre, es algo que tú has publicado, ¿no? ¿Has publicado un ensayo o un...
Yeah, mi memoria. Para conseguir mi máster de la Universidad de Salamanca.
Ok. Cuéntanos sobre esto.
Se llama Perspectivas de la Negritud. Y se trata de cuáles son las perspectivas o cómo se considera una persona negra en España, en los Estados Unidos y en Centro, Sudamérica.
Y entonces, tú ya me has mandado, ya lo tengo, el link, el enlace en mi correo. Pero lo que yo quiero saber es cómo podemos mostrarlo o compartirlo más para que más gente pueda leerlo.
Está disponible a través de academia.edu debajo mi nombre. El link también está en mi página de LinkedIn, también a través en mi Instagram. Entonces hay un enlace que te dirige directamente a a la memoria, o sea, tesis. Se dice memoria en mi universidad.
Sí, Memoria. So with that, everyone, you have to follow this amazingly intelligent and insightful queen, Regina O'Neal. You want to follow her on Instagram at la-profe-hermosa. She lets you know. That's why I said la profe hermosa. I'm letting you know straight up from the jump. Y también en Twitter es la profe hermosa sin los guiones. Y también ella está con su nombre oficial, Regina O'Neal, in LinkedIn. Please follow her. Connect with this queen. She's so insightful. And as she told us, ella es bien ocupada porque tiene 4 secciones diferentes de español, y también ella es the chairperson del departamento de lenguajes en su colegio. Pero, I mean, what I'm looking for, and I know, en medio de todo lo que ya estás haciendo, I'm wondering, how can you take excerpts, porciones de su memoria, and like chunk it and make some reels out of it, to start sharing it that way? Because we're in this 60, sadly.
I don't know how to do stuff like that. I mean, I refer to the Memoria often for my lessons. You know what I mean? It was a labor of love. It took me 2 years to write that thing. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. I've never written anything like that in my mother tongue, for goodness sakes, let alone in my second tongue, But it was truly a labor of absolute love, And I'm happy that I wrote it. I look forward to writing more, And I like using other writers as well. I'm sure, through our good friend, Jessie Quintero, she's the one who hit me to this. Hijo del Camino. Yes. This lady reminds me so much.
Hija del Camino.
Rubio. Yes.
Y ella es española.
Sí.
Y negra.
Yeah. También Ser Mujer Negra en España.
Eso es muy popular ahorita.
Yeah. I read that. I reached out to the author. She is a baby doll. And I told her that I am working on incorporating her piece into my AP class. I can't wait to show her what the lesson plan looks like, how the discussion shakes out. Yeah.
Cada vez cuando estoy con una profe de español, my brain is always like, doop, 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 doop. I don't know if you've seen it in TikTok when it's like me calculating and it's like the calculating noise. Pero I'm always thinking like, oh my gosh, how can we like take this, started from the bottom, now we're, because the thing is, in tu memoria, like you have so much, like you said, it was a labor of love.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
intentional,
Yeah.
equally to how you are intentional in the way you design. That's what I
Mhm.
love when I think about lesson plans. I don't even like necessarily to use the word lesson plans, because that
Mhm.
sadly is slightly becoming tainted, because we get so caught up on, I think, again, the superficial. Like, we have to have, whatever we have to submit to our academic lead or administrator. I understand there are
It
logistics that we have
becomes
to do.
performative. So
There
many
we go.
aspects of our job becomes performative. You're not worried about the true real deal. You're just worried about the data to give to your supervisor, right? So it doesn't matter
Right.
what I write, correct? And
Right. Or
it
la calidad, like that quality, right? Is
right.
so, because again, if we're here to facilitate
Mm-hmm.
understanding, because that's deeper than the knowledge and skill sets, the actual understanding. How can you transfer this skill, right? Like, if we're here to facilitate understandings, plural, and using understandings as a noun, un sustantivo, y no un verbo, because like to understand, para comprender, no, but actual understandings,
Mm-hmm.
plural. If I'm to facilitate that, then my mindset when I'm writing my plan is more so of a design thinking
Mm-hmm.
approach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how am I designing conversations?
Exacto. Right. ¿Cuáles
Mhm.
son las cosas que quiero que ellos piensan? Right? ¿Cuáles son las preguntas que
Sí,
yo quiero que ellos hagan? ¿Cuáles son las
yes.
perspectivas que quiero que ellos analicen?
Sí, eso. Y por supuesto, con el permiso de los papás, o yo no sé cómo andan las cosas en su escuela, pero tú debes grabar videos de su enseñanza, porque no hay muchos ejemplos. Vea, la mayoría de mis clases son de introducción de español. Yo enseño español 1 y 2. Es mi pasión. A mí me encanta hook people into learning el lenguaje. That's like, I'm like the entry. I want to be I don't want to say gatekeeper, but I want to be one of the many entry points to really like get people, children, desde chiquito, us to like whoever I'm working with, that entryway to set them up para tener éxito con el idioma.
Ujú,
Pero no hay muchos ejemplos
ujú.
de niveles avanzados con el lens de cultural responsiveness. And so
Sí.
that's one thing I would want to encourage you, Regina, la Profe Hermosa, to do that. Whether, even if it's like capturing your metacognitive thinking
Ujú,
in your lesson design
ujú.
and the delivery, because no hay ejemplos. And there's a lot of folks that are real old school, bien acostumbrados a la manera de su enseñanza,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not doing it.
Oh, yeah. I'm working on it. I'm actually considering the next step. I would like to apply for national board certification. Right?
Came through drip, drip, drip.
Yeah.
Came through drip,
So
drip, drip.
I would like to
Came
make
through
an
drip,
arrangement
drip.
with,
Diamonds on my wrist, they dripping.
my school librarian and see if I can't just get a library of my classes.
I love it. I love it. Oh yeah. You look,
And
I'm giving you the certification
girl,
already.
that's
You already
good.
got it.
That's good. That's really good, PD. Because when you sit down with educators that you admire, that you look up to, and say, "Okay, let me have it, y'all. I want the good, the bad, the ugly. Just let me have it." Because it's easy to blow smoke up somebody
Mm-hmm.
behind, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to feel like they are the superstar. Very few of us are ready to get hit in the face with the reality. Okay, honey, you keep.
Because that's that feedback. It has to be
Mhm,
constructive. I love, one time I heard someone say the difference between when you're offering feedback. It can either be constrictive or constructive. And we know construir is that raíz del verbo, right? You
mhm,
want to help. What we got to keep it real, right? Because how are we going to facilitate growth? It's
mhm,
not forcing growth, but I want to facilitate through questioning. I
mhm,
want to help through observations so that you and me, whoever is the recipient of this feedback, can actually construir. We always talk constructive knowledge, like actually putting into place, into practice, lo que hemos aprendido en la U. That's always
mhm.
like what the difference I see. Like, we have this competencia, pero la actuación no. So
Exactly.
like that's where we have to, like, para cerrar la diferencia entre las dos. We have to have constructive feedback, not constrictive, like I'm naming you, in a certain way, because it's how you deliver the feedback and make it actually meaningful.
En primer lugar, necesitamos las ganas de mejorar como profesionales. ¿Okay?
Eso.
El nombre de la autora es Desiree Pelle, creo. De ser mujer negra en España, creo que su nombre es Desiree Pelle.
Sí, hay que leer. Necesito, yo voy a comprar Hija del Camino y ese libro también, Ser Mujer Negra en España. Porque muchas personas diferentes me han dicho sobre eso.
Tienes que hacerlo. Este libro es buenísimo, buenísimo, buenísimo.
Y esa es la perspectiva que necesitamos. ¿Y por qué la representación importa? Imagínense, cuando hay estudiantes afroamericanos, y vea, yo he trabajado con 1 millón de textos de libros diferentes y normalmente la primera vez de ver una persona hispana que es morenita, como negrita, viene de capítulo 8 o 10.
Exacto.
Y normalmente no podemos cubrir, no podemos enseñar todos los capítulos. Y normalmente la República Dominicana es capítulo 10.
Y por eso tenemos que encargarnos de ofrecer ejemplos de cómo se ve una persona hispana. La mayoría de la gente piensa por mi complexión, porque soy una mujer de mamá irlandesa, papá afroamericana, mírame. Entonces, la mayoría de la gente piensa que soy una persona hispana. Entonces, tengo que explicar, no. Lo que ustedes están pensando es el concepto de colorismo. Entonces, hay que exponer a los niños a varios ejemplos de la gente que de habla hispana, ¿no? También los asiáticos, la gente asiática también.
Y la gente indígena.
Exacto.
Pero cuando yo viví en Costa Rica, por 3 años en total, 1 semestre con una familia tica en Zapote, en San José, en la capital. Por el resto del tiempo en el lado caribe. Entonces, la mayoría de la gente local eran de herencia caribeña. Pero muy cerquita a la frontera entre Costa Rica y Panamá, hay una población enorme de los bribri. Y bribri es uno de la gente indígena. Y la cosa que es muy interesante es que ellos se mezclan, pero no se mezclan. Pero no, en ese pueblito caribeño, el colorismo fue más un problema entre los extranjeros viviendo en el pueblito, porque allí es como, los indígenas y los caribeños, ellos recibieron su 40 acres and a mule. Like they, en Costa Rica, like they had, that does not mean that todavía no hay problemas de racismo. Every time I share stuff, people in mi familia, you think it's just perfect. No. Pero hay una diferencia en la manera de vivir.
Big ups to Epsi Campbell Barr, by the way. Ex vicepresidente de...
la vicepresidenta. Sí.
Y su hermana Shirley Campbell Barr, porque ella es poeta. Y yo uso uno de sus poemas en mi clase, Rotundamente Negra.
Sí, y también big ups a la nueva vicepresidenta de Colombia.
Claro que sí.
¿Cómo se llama? Marqués.
Vivas.
Pero es una experiencia diferente viviendo allá, pero es como, yo no sé, nunca me sentí, nunca tenía miedo de caminar en la calle. Yo no tenía carrito allí, yo andaba con mi bicicleta, pero la sensación es diferente y hay más respeto para los negros allí y también para la gente indígena, pero I'm telling you, that same colonizer energy que está aquí, cuando los expats salen, algunos, no todos, cuando unos de los expats salen del país, ellos andan a un país extranjero con la misma energía negativa.
No lo dudo. No lo dudo, por supuesto. Yeah.
Y ese es un problema también. So it's like, no podemos escaparlo, pero we have to be, if we are intentional in our lesson design and
calling it what it is. Instead of
yes,
pretending that that's racist, that's extraordinarily prejudiced, that's offensive. Instead of sugarcoating it or calling it by other labels, no, man, no. Call it for exactly what it is. You know?
again, look, I gotta find this mic because you got me where I want to just keep dropping this mic. I don't want to like take this one off. I gotta find the otro micrófono, pero es así.
Girl, you gotta check out capítulo 4 de mi memoria. Capítulo 4. That's where I analyze perspectives of Blackness in Latin American countries. And I talk about a certain character. His name is Memín Pingüín. And he is a cartoon character from Mexico. And he is drawn as a monkey. But all of his classmates are drawn as white, regular human children. You see what I'm saying? So no one will say, oh my God, this is how we see Black people, but they'll draw it this way. And what I did think that was very interesting with, I studied in Cuernavaca on Fulbright in 2010. So when I'm asking other people about Memín Pingüín, they would look at me and say, how dare you suggest that this is racist? Memín has a heart of gold. And I said, how would you feel if I invited you to Baltimore? You come to an elementary school full of children Memín's age, right? Full of Black kids, and you defend that to them. Will you feel uncomfortable? Will you feel a little nervous? Will you check your words? Will you have absolutely no words? Nobody wants to face reality. Nobody wants to face reality, you know?
And that's the thing, because it's still this concept of, I like to share this story of, I met someone, I actually worked with this lady, y ella es blanca, profe, una persona muy buena. Y éramos parte de un grupo de profesores y instructional coaches en Texas. And I always remember this story. Y había un día y estamos todos sentados hablando sobre el racismo en los Estados Unidos. Y había un grupo de 30 más o menos personas, incluso como 5 personas negras. Y es como, es una locura, because it's hard for me to conceptualize it, but I have to respect that my human experience como una persona negra is different from the human experience of other people, aunque nacimos en el mismo año. Tenemos get the same degree, right? And so I never forget when she said, and this is, she's an amazing educator, right? She said the first time, la primera vez de hablar sobre el racismo en su casa, like growing up, was when she joined Teach for America.
Yeah.
That's in La U.
Right.
And came back home and was sharing like socioeconomic inequities. La primera vez. And I'm like, my whole life.
Well, but why would she have to?
But why would she have to?
If her mama, her daddy, whoever is raising her, don't bring it up, right? If she doesn't have friends who are not white and witness nonsense that's going on with her friends, her loved ones, why would she bring it up, right?
Right. And that's just like a whole new world. Like it's something, you know. And so,
like, girl, where have you been? Where were you raised?
So let's keep it okay. So with that perspective, now let's dig in deeper. I would say dig deeper to reach further. So now la mayoría de los docentes en los Estados Unidos son blancos.
Específicamente mujeres, ¿no?
Mujeres blancas. And look, let me just clarify. I'm not here at all saying that you have to have a Black teacher with Black children, that that's the only way, or that you have to have a white teacher with white children. I'm not saying that's the only way, because real talk, I have worked, yo he trabajado con profes negras that I'm like, my child will not be up in your class. Just right. So I'm not limiting it to el color de su piel, pero we know that representation matters. But I want to stretch this. We need to have the quality. And if we're talking about the same perspective, if you have absolutely no idea, like it's just not like you said, you don't have to. If you've
Right.
never even discussed it, if the first time, when we heard, oh, después de lo que pasó con George Floyd,
Right.
oh,
Right. Recruitment matters, right?
yes,
¿Y cómo estás animando a sus alumnos afrodescendientes?
yes,
¿Quieren convertirse en maestro algún día? ¿Quién sabe? ¿Por el tratamiento que recibieron en su clase?
yeah, yeah. And think of, yeah. Y, okay, ¿cómo se llama el carácter de la cosita de México you were telling me about?
Memín pingüín.
Memín penguin. Okay, I can't remember if we talked about this before.
It's going to upset you when you see it now.
Oh, no, listen. I have some, hay tratos that I have to like atender en septiembre en el principio, but that is on my list. I'm going to actually empezar con tu memoria antes de conseguir los dos libritos. I have to do that because like te conozco. I want to like dig deep into.
But I started to see a repeating pattern. There was a show back on Univision back in the day, like early 2000s. It was called Viva los Niños. Y se trata de una clase de tercer grado en la Ciudad de México. La mayoría de los niños, todos los niños mexicanos, ¿verdad? Pero un niño negro, un niño chino, creo, right? Maltrataron como loco al negrito, but they would never, ever call it what it was. The teacher would be like, oh, they're just mean. You know? His mom, he'd be like, ay, es que me llamaron un mono. Me dicen que soy mono. Ay, pero tú eres más lindo que un mono. I'm like, whose mama is saying that?
Right. What?
Nobody's mama saying that, right? But at no point in time throughout this series did anyone say, we have a racism problem in this school. We have a problem the way we treat Black children. You know? We
don't want to name it, even though we know it's there. We don't want to name it. Yeah. And so then what is that?
With the refusal to call it what it was. That's what bothered me the most. You know what I mean?
Because lo que pasa, pasa. Right. But then see that phrase right there even has like lo que pasa, pasa. Like it's almost like removing yourself from the equation. Right. I know that this situation is happening. I'm aware of it.
Y evitando responsabilidad. Eso no tiene nada que ver con yo. I'm like, yeah, it does.
Did I talk about La Esponja La Negrita with you the last time we met? I can't remember.
Yep, you sure did. Yep, you
and
sure
I
did.
still want to like dig a little bit deeper on that my own self because, viviendo en Costa Rica, and I know this saying, it's a brand, es una marca me imagino casi toda América Central, quizás en México, yo no sé, pero I can clearly see the logo. Maybe it's solamente costarricense, but I can see it's the logo. And so for me, I didn't know, I was new to the country, like how we have different brand names, Clorox or whatever, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. I can't think of like an actual brand right now of like.
Girl, why there's still brands of toothpaste in Japan with horrible caricatures of Black people on the images. Still to this day. You see what I'm saying? Negative caricatures, just anti-Black caricatures have been a thing for a while now. And are still being perpetuated. You know what I mean? Girl, chapter 4.
Capítulo 4. Okay, now tell me this. Do I have tu permiso? I will write you before anything.
Oh, yeah.
If for any of the segments that like really resonate with me that I want to share. Obviously, everything gets all credit, but I'm learning more and more that these 60-second reels are very powerful to grab the attention of someone, and then I would like share your link, like direct them to there, because I want to be able to capture some of that and even just like show a 60-second clip of some sort of image, whether you're reading it, I'm reading it, whatever we get done. Like I want people to see it and to feel it because we need to have this. And there's so many students that I would definitely say, what level would you say would be able to handle this text? Español 3?
In my class, 3 CAP.
Yeah,
but build up them 3s.
But you know what else you can do? And I would encourage this, and that's why I'm excited to look at it as well, because my goal and what I try to implement is to, again, when I'm designing my lessons, being intentional. And look, somos profes, right?
Right.
We somos mamás. Like, life happens. You see these bags, these Kroger, Wegmans. Don't talk about Wegmans in Baltimore. You see these Wegman bags, right? Like,
Girl,
la vida
not
es la
my
vida.
spot in Baltimore. You mean Giant? You mean the food line?
Or no, Shoppers World, wasn't it? Or Shoppers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, memories. Pero like, there's some days. Look, I always feel like I have to have these disclaimer, because then someone becomes overwhelmed with, okay, I'm going to stay. I'm not telling you to stay up late at night going through all this in a third. But first of all, teaching is both a skill and it is an art. And I always like to say, what is art in the middle of? Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Do not think that como profe de español, de matemática, ciencia, cualquier materia, do not think that you are coming here to save anybody. Because that's also,
Lord, please.
That's a whole nother thing. We're not here to save. We're here to facilitate thinking, dialogue, reflection. And so again, if we have the representation of multiple perspectives, separate from just the traditional thing, that's going to make connections happen.
And really start looking at our kids differently, please.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. Much like you said, don't look at my son as someone that you have to save. Don't look at him as a threat. Look at him as your future president. Look at him as a future heart surgeon, or whatever it is that he decides he wants to be. Yes. Look at him as a contribution to humanity, just like you would look at your own son, you know? And that's something that we need to take into consideration for real, though.
Yeah, for real. And that's really, let me check my heart.
Yes.
Because my good friend, here we go, Connecticut, by way of Connecticut, but she's B more as well, Tanya Blue Shelby. Whew, she said something one day where I think I got it in my journal book. She said, be mindful that your cape doesn't flip over and become a hood. I'm just going to leave it at that. You know, because you're not, no one's here. Oh, I have to say, get that mentality out of here. Because again, if you're coming here, Captain Save-A student, then that still doesn't require accountability. Superman's not accountable to anybody.
And you think that children can't smell your intentions? They smell it on your breath. They know if you care. They know how you look at them, how you treat them. They can feel that. They feel sincerity faster than most grown folks, right?
Yes.
So you can try to fool them if you want to.
And then we look at classroom culture, classroom management. If students aren't bought into your authenticity, why in the world you think they're going to be bought into whatever it is that you're
selling?
Whatever
it is that you're selling.
Whatever it is you're selling them, right? I like what Jada Kiss says, who's real, who's not. She's real, but he's not. Wait a minute. And like, kids know it. They know it. And so it's not about being perfect. I love the phrase that practice yields permanence. So what am I permanently etching? Like, what is that vibe that I am on it's a practice. Like, it's not about perfection. There will be days when you are like, dude, you know what, y'all, I need you to do this packet. I can't be up doing that. Look, we're human. Somos humanos, no? Pero we check our hearts, check our intentions.
And our purpose. Why are you here? For what?
There we go. I got to write that up.
For
what? That answers here. Kids don't remember what you try to teach them. They remember what you are. So for what?
And how you made them feel. And how you made them feel.
Yes.
You know? Yes. And much like everybody else, I'm human and I screw up all the time. I can tell when I hurt somebody's feelings. And if I mess up in public, then I humbly apologize in public. I make it right in public. But I'm never going to let anyone walk out of my room feeling bad about themselves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes, I'm tough because I don't play no games. It's my way. Yo soy la capitana, right? Hay un
Hey,
dicho que me decía, donde manda capitán, no manda marinero. Yo soy
hey,
la capitana, la que manda soy yo, right?
hey,
But at the
hey.
same time, I love you. I care about you, Jessie. But you are gonna do, honey, what I ask you to, honey. You're gonna be on my page, sweetheart. And
But
I'm gonna
that's
show you.
love, right?
Exactly.
This
I'm
is
gonna
el
show you
amor.
that you can do this.
That's real love, and people want to separate and think love is supposed to be this flowery thing que le falta disciplina, but
Right.
love includes la disciplina,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we can't, again, trying to separate
Our
this.
kids have to live in society.
Yeah.
We prepare them for the world or no?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And with relationships, obviously, they have to be there, and it's a living relationship. It's like you said, there will be some days, hey, you know what? We're in this position where I'm going to be humble and publicly or privately, depending on how whatever offense occurred, but then again, that's checking your heart and being a reflective. My whole thing is like all of these trends in education, if we actually embody them,
Mm-hmm.
if we actually practice them,
Mm-hmm.
they actually are amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, honestly, if you look at the Constitution, I always think about that. The US Constitution, if it was actually practiced for everybody, but not at the same time while you're raping, killing, dehumanizing, stealing, and all, it could be an amazing thing, but it's so hard because, again, just like igual como la Constitución, whatever is nueva, if I hear one person about CI or TPR or this or that, none of that matters if you do not first have an authentic relationship con sus alumnos.
And the
Even if
theory,
you have your kids repeating after you like robots, it doesn't translate to them actually understanding.
you ain't lying. And I was going to say the theory rarely matches the practice.
Mm.
And so when that doesn't happen, reflection is important. Where am I falling short?
Yes.
How can I explain it a different way? Just checking the temperature of your students, watching the expressions on their faces, how they're communicating and vibing with you. All of that matters.
Yes. 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 Y'all have to follow this queen, Regina or la _ Profe _ Hermosa. I'm gonna keep saying it. She's letting you know.
My student, my precious student, his name is Luis. He gave me that like over 10 years ago. And I said, "Oh, I'm taking it. I like it."
Pero sabe una cosa, we always talk about digging deeper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Para ser hermoso is so much more than la apariencia.
Oh, yeah.
Well, tú eres una mujer hermosa, sí. Qué bendición, right? Pero para ser hermosa es por dentro.
Sí, se trata del alma. Yep.
And so that is the real beauty. And so, yes, tú eres la profe hermosa. Estoy de acuerdo. Eres muy hermosa por dentro y por fuera. And so please, you all follow this
mi
way.
reina.
I'm trying, girl. I told you I got these WAG, man. I got shoppers plus shoppers world.
It's fine. Put some cucumbers up on there. You'll be all right.
I need, le falta maquillaje, girl. I'm trying. But no, en serio, like everyone, you have to follow this queen at La Profe Hermosa. Búscalo en Twitter. Regina O'Neal en LinkedIn. La_Profe_ Hermosa en Instagram. Connect with her, Regina O'Neal on Facebook. Be blessed by her. Memoria, please. I'm excited to like really get in depth with this. I'm telling you, like la segunda, antes de terminar septiembre, voy a bajarlo y leerlo bastante bien e imprimirlo, porque a mí me encanta subrayar, really process. I just did a session on pause and processing and not just reading, because that's the actual, I need to understand.
Yeah,
right? And so
me encantaría hablar con tus comentarios. Tienes que decirme lo que piensas.
Yes. Voy a hacer todo eso.
Perfecto.
I'm so excited. Yes, and we got to end on what la nueva vicepresidenta de Colombia dijo. Soy porque somos. That is
exactamente.
Like,
Exactamente. Soy
porque somos. We are all in this together. And I just salute you, Queen. I'm so thankful to have met you and to have this opportunity to speak with you. This will not be our last time. And please follow this beautiful person en línea. I will put sus links, sus enlaces en el comentario, en el mensaje debajo. And so Bendiciones a ti.
I just
Any
want to
final
say,
words?
yes, Miss Jessie, I am so proud of you. I saw you for the first time. I saw a clip, okay, of your Spanish swag. I was so impressed and floored. And just because I feel like there are not enough Black American language teachers that get any shine. Girl, I love every drop of shine that you are getting, and you deserve so much more.
Oh,
For your
gracias, mi amor.
dedication to our students, for your dedication to our art and our craft. I salute you, and I'm so proud of you. I'm
Thank
so proud of you.
you.
So keep doing what you are doing.
Give me emotional. Like, the part of the soy porque somos, we think about todos los antepasados, nuestros
Yeah,
antepasados,
that's right.
right? And the fact that we come from people that are multilingual, but it was stripped from us. And like, no, tranquila. Yeah. Somos familia, tranquila, mi amor.
Okay.
So it's just like, I just have this deeply rooted passion of we have to increase this rate of bilingualism and multilingual. Like, ¿por qué no? Like, why? It's just like, I recently did a study. The U.S. Hispanic population ranks 7th in the world's purchasing power, igual a la Francia.
Right.
And so bilingualism is no longer just an option.
Right.
Or we're going to be falling behind further. Because, so al mínimo que hay que hablar español e inglés. Like that's just like the bare minimum. Then all the way up, keep moving. But I'm just here to like educate, advocate, get us hyped, get our kids hooked into adults. And we already know all the benefit, not all, but so many of the benefits of just from your brain health alone, let alone socioeconomic. And I just want to encourage people and highlight amazing educators, docentes como usted, and everything that you are doing. And we just got to keep it going.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, honey.
Yes, thank you. I'm feeling all that be more vibes. I love my be more.
Absolutely. You gotta come check me out when next time you are in town.
I definitely will. Trust me. I definitely will. As they say in Costa Rica, si Dios quiere, I will definitely do this. Si Dios quiere. Okay, mi amor.
I'd love to meet you in person.
Oh, I would love to have a whole. We're gonna do it.
I got you.
We got it. I'm gonna come do my be more careful debut. We're gonna do that. Okay, mi amor, que cuídate mucho. Y espero que tenga un año escolar fantástico. And I'm so hyped for the state of the Hispanic Union. I'm sitting in those vibras.
Most def. I hope we can pull this off without a hitch. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be.
And it should be recorded, and it should be streamed live. It should be.
I need some touchy peoples around me.
You got this. We got this. All right, mi amor, que tenga una noche muy buena y gracias por todo. A veces tomado tiempo pasar un rato conmigo.
Sí, por supuesto.
Vamos a estar en contacto. Y te quiero mucho, mi amor. Sigue
Te quiero también, mi reina. Fue un placer. Gracias a ti. Que Dios te bendiga.